What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beginner HTML tutorial video on coding with Jeff. This is going to be the final video on this basic HTML learning series before we dive into CSS. Now, keep in mind, these are just some of the most commonly used HTML elements that I'm teaching you here. And later on, when we get into projects and stuff like that, we're going to be learning about some more elements that you can use and things like that. But I want you to be very familiar with the elements that you are learning about here, because these are some that you're going to use on almost every HTML web page out there that you put together. Okay, you're going to use headings, you're going to use paragraphs, you're going to use anchors, images, divs. You're going to use all this stuff, okay, on almost every single document that you create. All right, so what we're going to be talking about in this video is how to create a list in HTML. Now, there are a couple of different types of lists that we are going to be talking about. The first one is called an unordered list. Now, this is a list that it really don't matter which order the things are in that you put on the list. Okay, so when we get into actually creating one, you'll see what this type of list is used for. It could be used for like traits or characteristics. It could be used for anything like that. And then we have an ordered list. Now, an order list is something like a recipe where you need to follow step 1, 2, 3, 4 in order to build it, or in order to create it, or whatever you're trying to do, right? Think about this as a recipe for creating a sandwich. All right, that's the type of list that you would use, is an ordered list. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you examples and show you how to create these two different types of lists in HTML. Okay, so let's go right below this picture right here, and let's change, this is my subheading, to "Is your dog a happy dog?" All right, so now we have our subheading as "Is your dog a happy dog?" We have the image, and we have some paragraph here that we've typed out. Now, let's say we want to add a list. Okay, so let's create an unordered list first. So what we need to do is we need to put a left angle bracket, UL, for unordered list, and then a right angle bracket. That's going to create our opening and closing unordered list tags. We're going to hit enter so that we put the closing tag down on its own line, and we have some space in here, because what we need to do next is we need to create some list item elements. Okay, we need to create one of these for each item in our list. All right, now again, an unordered list is going to be bullet points. Okay, so just the bullet points. All right, so what we need to do when we want to create a list item is left angle bracket, LI for list item, and a right angle bracket. That's going to create an opening and closing tag for you. Okay, so above this, like maybe your paragraph says something like, or actually, let's go below the paragraph. Let's put a H3. This is where you would typically see an H3 used. Okay, so we'll put something like, according to dog experts, your dog will have the following traits. All right, so you can see here, that's what we just typed out. That's what we just created with our H3 heading element. All right, now we'll go back down here in between the opening and closing list tags, and we're going to put the first one. Your dog is smiling. All right. So that will be our first list item. Now we want to put another one, right? So we can't have a list with just one thing. All right. So we got your dog is smiling. His tail is wagging. And then we'll put a third one and we'll say he licks you a lot. I don't know. That's just something my dogs might do. All right. So we can create as many list items as we need to. And you can see right here, we have a nice and neat bullet point list. Okay. All right. Now let's do something totally opposite. This time, let's come down here. Let's just come all the way down. All right. And we'll create a little bit of space. Actually, before I forget, let's go back up to our list. And let's add a comment right above our list. Again, hold down Control and question mark. And let's say this is how you create an unordered list. Okay, simple as that. UL and then LI for each one of your list items. All right, now let's go down here. Let's create something totally new. All right, let's do H3 again. To make a PB and J sandwich. All right. Now, you can see it down here right below all this stuff. Okay. So let's add us a comment and let's say this is how you create an ordered list. Okay. So much like the unordered list, when we're creating the ordered list, we need an OL tag for ordered list. Okay. So I don't know if you've picked up on it yet, but a lot of HTML, you can basically figure out what you're doing because it's mostly abbreviated. All right, so A for anchor, P for paragraph, H for heading, OL for ordered list. Okay, now again, this is going to be for if you're creating a recipe or a set of instructions or something like that. Okay, so now we need to create a list item and we need to say get two slices of bread. Okay, so get 2 slices of bread, and you can notice that a number 1 is right next to here. All right, so the difference between an ordered list and unordered is an unordered will have bullet points, while an ordered will have numbers. You can see as soon as I created my next list item, it created the next number. Now it's just waiting on me to put some content in there. All right, so I'm in between the list item tags here, and I'm going to say spread peanut butter on 1 piece of bread. All right. Then we're going to create a new list item, and we're going to say spread jelly on the other piece of bread. And then we'll say put the 2 pieces of bread together and enjoy. All right, so now we have a list with 4 steps to creating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, now like I said, if you're creating something like instructions where one thing must be done before the other, you definitely want to be using an ordered list, because if you use an unordered list, then that's not going to be as straightforward for your user as an ordered list where it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so make sure you know the difference between these two types of lists and when to use each type. All right, if you're confused, make sure to restart this video, go back through it, and you'll see. I mean, just put in your head, unordered list is bullet points, ordered list is numbers. There's no difference in the way you create these except for the tags that you use. Ordered list tag, unordered list tag. Okay, so make sure to familiarize yourself with that. Comes in very handy when you're trying to make lists for something or instructions for something, or just name stuff off, whatever you need to do with your lists. All right, so that is all I have for you for this beginner HTML series. What we are going to be doing in the next video is we are going to jump into CSS, and we're going to be talking about what CSS stands for, what it's used for, how it works, what you can do with it, and a whole lot of other things. And then once we finish that, we're going to begin our very first project, which is creating a storybook. So we've got a whole lot more to learn. Make sure to tune in to the next video, and I will see you there. Thank you.